to today's live. I am so happy you're here today. If you are new here, hi, I'm Madison. I am a medium, I'm a Akashic Records reader, I am a Reiki practitioner, Reiki master teacher, and I also work with cards. So today we are going to be talking about the new moon in Leo. I have been starting to learn a lot about the different cycles of the moons and doing different rituals, journaling, and manifestation around the cycles of the moon to really harness and call in the energy that I'm looking to bring into my life. So I wanted to start sharing that with you guys. So twice a month I'll do videos on the new moon and the full moon to give you guys an idea of the upcoming energy and how to harness the energy to your highest timeline. So before we get into it, I wanted to pull a card and tell you guys about this new moon circle that I went to last night. So I have started going to new and full moon circles, and these look a little bit different every single time, but it is just a group of people getting together to celebrate the moon and call in the energy that is coming in. So last night's moon circle, we did a fire gazing meditation. I've never done a fire gazing meditation. It was so cool. Like, I've done a lot of different types of meditations in the Akashic Records guided meditations, solo meditations. Like, I've done a lot. Fire gazing meditations, had never done it before, but I really liked it. It was very peaceful and it was almost getting you into that kind of like trance, like meditative state. So if you've never done a fire gazing meditation, literally just light a candle, hold it in front of you, gaze at it, and then, if you feel comfortable and it's safe, then, close the eyes from there. We have little candle holders. So it was safe for us to be able to close our eyes during a certain portion of the meditation. But if it's not, do whatever is safe. So we did a fire gazing meditation. Then we did a tarot swap. So I'm going to be reading from a new tarot deck today. It is called the traditional tarot. It's very similar, I can tell, to like a Rider Waite deck in terms of it being very similar in terms of the imagery and all that, but this is actually designed by Pamela Coleman Smith. So this is the deck I'm going to be drawing from today, and so we did a tarot swap. Everybody could bring a deck they were willing to part with, and then everybody got to leave with the new tarot or oracle deck, so that was super fun. Then from there, we did a releasing. So we had little sheets of paper that we could write what we wanted to release. And then there was like a little fire safe thing that we could kind of toss those in to burn whatever it is we were wanting to release. So overall, I loved it. I've really been loving getting to know more about the moons, the cycles, and how they impact us. So let's get into it. I'm going to pull a card, and then I'm going to give you guys some ritual ideas for the new moon in Leo. If you're coming in from the live, hello, hello. So glad you joined us. Let's get into today's card pool. Wheel of Fortune. Okay, the Wheel of Fortune card is all about luck. It is very much about going into a period where if you do what you're supposed to do, the universe will show up, guide, and help you to get to that next point that you're looking to get to. So Wheel of Fortune is always a symbol that your guides are on your side, your guides are helping to allow you to manifest things. And for me, this is a really cool card to draw because I am actually working on launching a membership platform. So I offer in-person Akashic Records classes and higher self workshops and all these different activations, right? I have a location here in Greensboro, North Carolina, but I have really been getting the pain from my guides, like make what you're doing accessible to everybody. And so I've been working on developing a membership platform where everything I offer in person, you can pay like a lower monthly subscription fee and get access to all of this content that I do in person, online, do it at your own pace, whenever it feels good for you. And so this definitely for me is a sign that I'm on the right path with that. I'm supposed to be doing that, and by doing my part, the universe will then step in and do their part. I've been being very intentional about this, right? Like everything from what am I supposed to include, how much am I supposed to charge, who's my target audience. Anytime I do spiritual work or launches, I'm always very intentional about the people that find me. I always set up the intention with the universe, with my spirit guides, that only bring to me people that I can help and that can resonate with my style of teaching. And so if you found this today, that is probably you. So it's always cool because whenever you draw cards, you can figure out what the meaning of that card is and then figure about what it applies to in your personal life. So it's kind of like a two-part whenever you're learning to work with cards, learning what the card means and then being able to tie that into something that is going on in your current life. So that's how I always use my card pulls, is all set an intention of what do I need to hear or what message do I need. You can also ask the tarot cards questions. You can do different spreads. I actually know how to do quite a few tarot spreads, and in this series, the 31 Days to Spiritual Awakening series, I am going to do a tarot day where I'm basically just going to teach you guys overviews of the cards, how they work, how to do some basic spreads, the different suits, the journey of the fool. So that will be, I believe it's one day next week that I'm doing that live. But if you're new here, I am doing a series called 31 Days to Spiritual Awakening, where I am basically showing you guys all the spiritual modalities that took me from being somebody who was a functioning alcoholic to somebody who now is a spiritual entrepreneur. And it's been a very long journey between the two kind of phases of life. But now that I'm here, my guides were like, get on live, do reels every single day, telling people what helped to get you to where you are now and show those modalities to others. So if you are new here, would love to have you follow along for this series. It is going to be super fun. And if you want to see past videos, you can go under my lives, and all of the ones that I've done so far for this series are saved under the lives. So that is a little bit about what I have going on. Now let's get into the new moon in Leo. We are going to talk about what the new moon in Leo means, and we are also going to talk about some ideas for rituals, some ideas for journaling prompts, and I'm just going to tell you guys what I'm doing in the new moon as well. So the new moon in Leo is all about new beginnings, confidence, creativity, authenticity, new beginnings. New moons are always a great time to manifest a new beginning. So if you've been in a period, maybe Mercury retrograde has gotten you in a point where you're just like, I need to scratch everything, start over, this is the perfect time for it, right? It's probably going to be uncomfortable and probably not going to be the most fun thing you've ever done, but manifesting a new beginning is so freaking empowering because it literally takes you from whatever point you're at now, where maybe you want a new beginning, maybe you're not happy where you're at now, and that's perfectly fine because this is the perfect moon to harness new beginnings of stepping into authenticity, courage, and your true power. And so often we dim ourselves because we're worried about what people will think or how people will interpret us or whatever. And this moon is about not doing that. Stop dimming yourself. Stop thinking you can't show up as your authentic self. Because what I've learned, I used to be somebody who would very much dim myself to be liked by others or whatever. And the more that I stopped doing that, the more that I found people that are actually aligned with me. Because before I was very much a people pleaser, I was very much somebody who I wanted everybody to like me and to get along with me. And now that I do spiritual work, that's not practical. There's a lot of people that don't understand or agree with or get what I'm doing in the Akashic Records, mediumship, or Reiki. And it's really taken me out of that place of being a people pleaser and worrying about what people think to being like, oh no, this is who I am and what I'm supposed to be doing, and the right people will find me. And ever since I stepped into that authenticity, you guys, I have a whole new life. I have a whole new group of friends. I have a whole new support system. I have whole new places that I go for my own spiritual development. I have new customers that I'm working with. Like, stepping into your authentic power is scary and maybe a little uncomfortable if you've been used to people pleasing. But stepping into your authentic power is truly what allows you to connect with your soul family, your soul tribe, and to allow you to feel really fulfilled. So if you're a little bit on the fence about wanting to step into your authenticity, this is your sign to go for it. Because for me, I spent many years in friend groups of people that I didn't even really like just because we had been friends for a long time. I spent years trapped in a job that I hated just because I was too afraid to leave. Like, I did all the things to people please and to put myself last, and none of it led to me being happy. So eventually one day I was like, holy shit, radical idea. What if I just start being myself and trust that the universe is going to send me everybody that I need in this next chapter? And it's happened. I literally was telling my boyfriend the other day, whenever I got sober, I went through a period where I lost a ton of my friends. And the other day I was telling my boyfriend, I was like, holy shit, babe, I have so many friends now. Like, I have a lot of really genuine friendships with people that I genuinely adore being around. I literally love all the customers that I work with. I love the community that I'm in. it took me getting out of that people-pleasing mindset in order to truly get to this place. So if you needed some encouragement for stepping into your authenticity, I hope this gives you the courage. Okay, so new moons are always a great time to talk about new beginnings. Other things that are really cool to call in during this new moon, leading with your heart. Last night at the new moon circle, I drew the King of Hearts. We did a little card pull and then we journaled on it, and mine was the King of Hearts. And so King energy is all about being authoritative, having systems in place, being logical, practical. But then the heart aspect is like you need to do all those things and be that leader, but you need to do it from the heart space. And being that leader from the heart space is what's truly going to allow you to call in what it is that you're looking to create. Because in order for me to create this new membership site that I'm working on, I need to have the structure and the discipline and all of those king qualities, but I'm also doing it from a very heart-centered place where I want to show you guys all the things that have helped me, teach you guys how to channel your own Akashic record, teach you how to do energy work if that's aligned for you, teach you how to connect with your higher self. Like all of that is going to be available on the membership platform, but it is going to be something that I'm truly going to have to step into that heart space of doing what I know that I'm supposed to be doing, even though it's a lot of hard work and time and energy. And I don't love setting up a website. I'm not going to lie to you guys. In order to do this, I'm having to move over my current website that's hosted on GoDaddy to a new platform where you'll still be able to book one-on-one sessions with me and all of that, but you'll also be able to access this membership platform. And so that's a lot of back-end work that I personally don't love, right? I love this sort of stuff. I love sitting down and chit-chatting and telling about my experience and connecting with people on their spiritual journey. I don't love the back-end stuff. So that was very much a reminder that I'm supposed to do and create this thing, but I have to have both. I have to have kind of the structure and some of those masculine qualities, but I also have to have the feminine quality to step into the heart space. So that is definitely a reminder that stepping into heart-centered leadership, if that's something you've been feeling drawn to do, this is the perfect time. Other things that the new moon in Leo bring up is self-expression. So I used to be the kind of person that I've always loved to dress up, right? I've always loved to wear lots of jewelry and be very extra. And I realized I haven't been doing that as much. And I think it's because I started to dim myself to like fit in or not stand out or whatever. And my guides have very much been like, stop dimming yourself, start showing up in whatever way you want to, whether that's being dressed very extra, whether that's being like the party, like whatever it is, step into that self-expression instead of allowing yourself to maybe be fearful of what if I show up as my authentic self and what if people don't get me, and it sort of lets go of all of that worry, right? So two other things that we're calling in this new moon are courage and passion. So if you have something you've been wanting to do and you have not had the courage to do it, maybe it's because you have a dream and you're worried about what people are going to think. Maybe you have something that you know your guides have been telling you you're supposed to create or step into, or a conversation you're supposed to be having that you're afraid. This is the time to be courageous. And I can promise you, every time that I've ever stepped out of my comfort zone and been courageous, I have been rewarded by the universe in so many ways where it felt like I was really stepping into alignment. Things just were kind of working out for me behind the scenes. So having the courage to do what you need to do is a huge, huge thing for this new moon as well. Another really cool thing coming up in this new moon is passion. So if you have a passion that you have been putting off, likely that will come up for you during this. So one thing that I am passionate about is I love traveling. I have not been doing enough traveling because I've been working on building my business and all of these beautiful things, but I have definitely been getting the itch from my just kind of spirit team of like, hey, you can only be in this phase of like building and building and building for so long before eventually you have to step into the phase of having both, having your business that you're passionate about, but also having your hobbies that you're passionate about. Because in this life, we can't really, we have to have both, right? We have to have the mix of the business that brings us passion, but also the hobbies that bring us passion. And finding out what those things are and stepping into that is truly life-changing. So that is one thing that my guides have definitely been reminding me of is stop just thinking like life is just all about work and creating and your purpose. It's also about having things outside of work that you're incredibly passionate about. So let's get into rituals or things you can do in this new moon. So some of these are going to be like traditional rituals. Some of these are going to be more take action sort of things. So some basic rituals you can do any new moon or full moon. Charge your crystals under the moonlight. So I will normally take all of my crystals. Like tonight I'll take all my crystals out. I have a little crystal box. And I'll put all my crystals out in the moonlight to charge. And then you can also do moon water. So I'll normally put like a glass of water out there. Normally I'll put it with my crystals. Allow that to charge in the moonlight. Definitely put something over it so nothing gets in your water. And then a lot of times I will drink that water the next morning, and maybe I'll use that water to make my cacao and I'll stir in an intention. But moon water and charging your crystals are two things you can do anytime for any moon. But a few more specific things you can do for this moon. Stop putting off that project that you've been wanting to do and you know you're supposed to do, but you haven't stepped into because you're afraid of how much work it's going to be or what people will think or what if it fails or whatever, right? Stop. Let go of the excuses. Do the thing. Take the first step, whatever it is. I can promise you, if you have a dream on your heart, it's for a reason. It doesn't matter if other people think it's crazy. If you know you're supposed to do it, that's what you're supposed to be doing. Next ritual you can do is any sort of inner child healing. If you're local, I actually have an inner child workshop on Sunday. We're going to be making friendship bracelets and pulling oracle cards. So if you are in Greensboro, I would love to have you join us for the inner child workshop. If not, you can do these same things at home, right? Maybe your inner child used to love to paint and color and draw, and maybe you're just taking some time to step into that energy of creating that for yourself. This doesn't have to be something you go to. This can be work that you do on your own. Another cool practice is you can journal with your younger self. Like if there are times where you feel like you have some unresolved childhood wounds or things like that, journal about them. Journal back and forth to your younger self. Hey, younger self, I'm sorry I abandoned you during these times where you really needed me to be able to stand up for you. All of that work is going to allow you to truly release and step into the new beginnings. Because as much as new moons are about new beginnings, they are also about releasing anything that is no longer serving you. So another thing that you can do during this full moon specifically is self-expression. So tonight I have an appointment and I'm just gonna like do it up, right? I'm gonna wear this super cute dress I've been wanting to wear. I'm gonna wear all my crystal jewelry. I might even put on like some fairy wing little stickers for my eyes. I'm gonna really do it up, and I think there's the concept of dopamine dressing that I'm sure you've heard of. I love the concept of dopamine dressing because it is truly like you're dressing as your higher self. That's another way to think of it is what would my higher self wear to this, right? Because your higher self doesn't care about being overdressed or underdressed. Your higher self just cares about showing up as who you are and really being able to embody that energy. So pick a time or a day for you to really go all out with your self-expression. And this can be anywhere, right? You can literally go to your local coffee shop. You can literally go to Walmart dressed up. Nobody cares. Nobody knows what you're up to. Just dress up, live your best life, and don't be worried about what anybody's thinking about it in the process. Because I can guarantee you, whenever I see people like all dressed up at like Walmart or the coffee shop, I'm like, look at them being all cute coming to the coffee shop. I wonder if they've got somewhere fun to go later. You know, nobody's judging. So if you're afraid to maybe show as your authentic self because you're worried about judgment, this is a great time to release that as well. So let's get into journaling prompts for the new moon in Leo. My personal favorite journal prompt that I'm going to be spending some time on is, where am I dimming my light to fit in? Where am I maybe not showing up as my authentic self to try to get approval or to not stand out or to not ruffle feathers? We're all doing something to dim ourselves, right? Maybe it's one specific person you're around that you feel like you can't be yourself around. Stop that. Just start showing up as your authentic self. So that's an area I'm going to be spending a lot of time on. So there are definitely areas that I still dim myself to fit in. And it's like, why? Why do we continue to dim ourselves to try to fit in when we probably weren't here to be able to fit in? We were probably here to be able to really stand out. So other rituals or things you can do, journaling to release. I do this probably at least once a month. If I'm feeling really caught up in certain things I will literally just journal and release all those things, rip it up, throw it away, burn it, I don't care. Do something to get those emotions that are keeping you stuck out of your body, and journaling is a great way to do this. Another thing you can do is step into your main character energy. So tomorrow, I want you to just plan the entire day as showing up as your highest self. Whenever I play this game, what I'll do is I'll wake up and I'll be like, okay, what would my higher self do today? Would she stress about money and work and all these things? Or would she do what she needs to do to be able to eliminate some of those fears and step into abundance, right? So it's this constant game that I like to play of what would my higher self do today? Or you can even use this as like a response, right? What would my higher self do in this situation? How would my higher self respond? I had something that came up for me yesterday that I was like, what am I going to do about this? And immediately I was like, oh, duh, like how would my higher self respond? Like my higher self would probably just be like, LOL, and move on, instead of allowing it to consume all this energy in my brain. So being able to step into that place of really just releasing and really just stepping into your highest self, it can really, really help you in a really positive way. So those are just some regular practices I do, but they're perfect for the new moon. Okay, so a reminder of stepping into main character energy is yesterday I told you guys we were doing our card pulls at the new moon circle, and I drew the star card. And you guys know that Thomas Rhett song that's like, you are the star of the show? That's always what comes to mind whenever I pull the star card, because it's literally the reminder that like you are the main character of your life. You are the star, you are the creator, you are the person that decides how this life's gonna go and who you allow into that life. And it was such a good reminder, because sometimes we get so caught up in like victim mentality of like life's happening to us, I don't have any control. And that part is like, no, 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 no. You're the star of the show. You make the calls, you call the shots, you decide how you're spending your time and energy. You decide all of that, right? And I really think being able to just embody that star energy is a great way to spend this new moon in Leo as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Feel free to save it for when you have time to come back and spend a little bit more time on these rituals. And you can do these rituals really anytime over the first couple days of the new moon. So if you don't have time to do this today, but you're doing it tomorrow or this weekend, that's perfectly fine. Really, I like to say like 72 hours before and after the moons is going to be the biggest time where you want to do your rituals and your manifesting and your journaling and your releasing and all of that. So that is a little bit about the new moon in Leo. If you are a Leo, I am sending you all of the birthday love for this season for you as well. So other things I wanted to talk to you guys about before I hop off, if you are interested in working with me one-on-one, I do offer appointments, workshops, classes, retreats, all the things. So I have a retreat coming up in Sedona in September 21st to the 26th, and I am partnering with one of my girlfriends, Shannon, who is Soul Sisters Reiki and Rocks in Kernersville. And this retreat is all going to be about stepping into spiritual community, up-leveling your spiritual gifts, and really taking the time to disconnect and tap into new spiritual clearing abilities or clairvoyant abilities or meditation abilities that maybe you didn't know you had before. On this retreat, we're going to be doing cacao ceremonies, energy work in vortexes. We're going to visit the Grand Canyon. We are going to do so much stuff that's going to be a really cool combination of fun stuff and spiritual stuff. So basically every day we have one fun activity and one spiritual activity or workshop. So it is going to be a great time. It is a women's only retreat. So if you are a woman and you would like to join us, my website is linked in the show notes. And in my website, you can see the booking link under classes and events. And I also have a ton of stuff on my Instagram. If you guys don't follow me on Instagram, I am at A Holistic Awakening on Instagram. And there's a ton of information about the retreat and all my upcoming events there as well. If you are virtual and would like to work with me, I do offer virtual readings for Akashic Records or mediumship. I also offer virtual classes to teach you how to access your Akashic Record. And as I mentioned, my membership platform, my goal is to have that go live August 11th. And August 11th will be sort of the opening day. There will be a 7-day trial period where like anybody can go in and try the membership for 7 days for free. Make sure you like it, make sure it resonates. And within that, I'm going to have a new video every single Monday that is going to be either channel messages, activations, teaching you how to tap into some of your own channeling abilities, teaching you how to do some of these ceremonies or rituals that I do. And it is just going to be a really all-inclusive site of if you like learning more about like moving from 3D into 5D, this is for you. I'm actually calling it the 5D Ascension Membership. And so it's really for people looking to break out of the matrix and the 3D reality and step into the 5D of being connected with spirit guides and being able to connect with your intuition and harnessing the powers and cycles of the moon and your Akashic records and energy healing. All of that. It's going to be really, really just inclusive of everything that you need to learn to focus on in order to really continue to extend from 3D to 5D. So if that aligns with you, mark your calendars for August the 11th. That's when it will be going live. And I hope to see you there. Tomorrow I will be back for another live. I'm doing lives at 11:11 every day for the next, I think I've got like 24 days left or something like that. I was doing the series for 31 days. I think this is day 7 or 8. So we've got another at least 3 weeks of me coming on and doing these lives every day at 11:11. So I hope you will join me for tomorrow's where we will unpack a different spiritual concept and I'll share with you guys more things that I've learned along my journey. So I hope this was helpful. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe to the channel.